Good morning, everyone. This is Dr. Bill Williams on the Influencers Podcast, coming to you live from Atlanta, Georgia. And I am very pleased today. We're going to add another episode in with the West Coast today. We're bringing in Marlene Mamane from California. So, welcome, Marlene, to the Influencers Podcast. Come on down.
Thank you so much.
Glad you're here. So, we got to talking earlier, and you and I have a lot of insights because we've both been doing our respective professions for over 40 years. We're excellent in what we do. We have a lot to share, especially with the younger generations who are looking to be successful this year. I want to pick your brain a bit, if that's okay.
Yes, of course.
All right. So, why don't we start out by saying what happened? Where were you when you got the idea to start a marketing company, Promotion LA?
All right. Well, that was quite some time ago. And I basically was working for somebody. And it was before the internet. We're talking early 80s, 1980s. And I was selling basically coupons door to door for him in the Los Angeles area. And after about 4 or 5 months doing this, I really enjoyed the work. And he was choosing to leave Los Angeles. I was young, I was like 22 at the time or so. And basically, at that very time, my dad stopped working in his early 50s, which is really young today, right? To retire in your early 50s. So he had time, and I was young, and he wasn't going to give me any money. But basically, I had amazing mentorship in my dad. I told him I'm going to start this business all on my own, and he mentored me. And within just a few short years, I was really successful. And I really learned early on that entrepreneurship was really the name of life. I basically almost never had any jobs working for anyone else in Los Angeles. And I've worked for myself all these decades. And then when the internet evolved and later on, we got active that way too. But for over 35 years, I ran a very successful direct mail company here in Los Angeles.
So you saw LA grow from quite a normal town to quite a boom town.
Correct.
What was going on in the economy and in the social world out in California when you started your business?
Well, the 80s were, a really robust time financially, right? I mean, interest rates were paying high interest at the banks. People could really kind of, I don't know, they were getting ahead, I mean, in a different way than today, right? And so the way of business at that time was different than it is now today. Businesses needed solutions and ways to market themselves, and so I found it very fruitful for me to work that company in that way, working with all small business of Los Angeles. Worked with thousands of businesses in my lifetime, yes, and saw the evolution of time um, with how things had shifted and changed as the internet came along.
I know that you started from scratch
Hmm.
and you had a continuous up climb to
Hmm.
where you never had a big failure in your business that you identify, but you looked all around you and probably saw a lot of people that did fail.
Hmm.
So, did you have any personal failure story yourself that you can share with us, or did you just see other people failing and you just learn from them what not to do?
Well, I really saw quite a bit being, up close to business, small businesses, from restaurants to dry cleaners to construction companies, beauty businesses, all of them. Um, we really shifted, you know what I mean? We just shifted from doing print to doing digital marketing. Um, it was different in terms of scalability. I mean, there's a lot of competition now in the internet space. But not everyone does that correctly. You know what I mean? There's just so many people and so many solutions, yet there's no standard practice like there is in other industries. And so that is quite a challenge, if you will.
Was there any group of things that happened to those companies that didn't make it? Can you identify some reasons they failed in their marketing that
Yes.
you were able to correct and help people to right that ship?
Yes, I do think that many businesses did not shift how times have changed and didn't realize how important their digital, presence is as it is today. And so I have seen businesses that were really could have been thriving, could have done so much better if they put the right focus in this area. Yes.
I want to go through a lightning round with you now, and I want to get your initial impression on these following questions. I want people to understand what motivates you internally to keep going after doing this for 40 years.
I just have such great passion to help that business owner realize their dream, their success, right? And help be on that journey with them. So that's what motivates me, honestly, and to see that happen um, by our efforts and their efforts. It's like it's a mutual place that we both have to be in.
So you're looking at Promotion LA. What is your company's main motto?
To elevate a business's brand and to help them reach the next levels.
Do you have 3 success secrets that you can share that others can model from?
Integrity is just everything. I mean, you got to really stand by what you say. You've got to deliver what you promise. Integrity is really at the root of everything, truly. And it's lovely to be likable. People do want to listen to people that are likable, right? But if someone can trust you, then that is really when they're most comfortable to make a decision to buy from you. So
Okay, that sounds like a winner to me. Secrets that if you imply them, you'll be successful.
mhm.
How can you answer this question? Why should somebody buy from Promotion LA?
Very good question. We have a very, very unique small team, very mighty, right? We all have a lot of experience in many categories. However, we're really trying to find a real strong focus now in the beauty business, cosmetic, laser beauty business. We've had some really wonderful success there. And so we feel that this is an area where doctors, although they are amazing at what they might be able to achieve and help their patients see some of some of those outcomes, they're not the most mindful about how important marketing is, right? And so we feel that we can come in and bridge the gap of what the doctor wants the outcomes to be for their practice and really elevate that with their digital presence. So in essence, basically, people should buy from us because I know 99% of the time they're going to be in a way better place than they were before they started with us.
I think you hit a nail on the head when you talked about doctors not knowing how to market, and you can fill that niche for them. I, being a cosmetic dentist, found that one of the reasons we got to be so successful was employing viral marketing, video
Correct.
marketing, radio marketing. If there was a medium out there, we were on it. And so I learned that from J. Conrad Levinson, be everywhere all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And certainly most dentists that I know have no clue about that.
You're correct.
What's your ideal client now? How would you describe them?
Okay. Somebody who is like on the cutting edge of what they are trying to achieve. Someone who wants to have a strong basis of credibility and authority for their own practice. Like, so if that client wants to be the authority for what they're trying to achieve, we want to help them get there. I mean, we have the means, we have the way in which to do so, right? And so we've done this, and we have tremendous proof that that's going to be a good match. You know, if they're willing to look at a bigger picture, they're not just trying to buy a new website. You know, I mean, yes, we make websites, but the bigger picture is more about the helping the whole practice. And I know that we're good at that. You know, we even went inside a doctor's office and helped redecorate their furniture in their waiting room, just knowing that it just needed, you know, sort of an uplift.
A facelift, yes.
Yes.
I understand you definitely need social proof if you're meeting the public's needs in the cosmetic area. You
Mm-hmm.
need proof of
Mm-hmm.
product, and you want to be the authority figure in your area so that people are drawn to you.
Correct.
And that's important to have a very good marketing agency behind you. Can't
Mm-hmm.
do it on your own typically. How would your potential clients find you?
Well, we're on the internet too. We create video. We have a strong website. We have client testimonials. We have landing pages. So we implement all the things that we recommend our clients to do.
And do you have any well-defined products and services that you offer to the clients?
Yes, but most clients have to do a one-on-one meeting with us because we're going to have to discover where they're at and meet them where they're at. And each client kind of has a different set of needs and at whatever given time. So we work with people on a one-on-one basis. We don't have people just fit into like A, B, and C package. So
I guess you probably have run across influencer marketing concepts because that's the current rage. Have you delved into that area and found influencers for people, or are you engaging influencer marketing with your clients?
yes, we have a couple of programs like that going with a couple clients currently. Yes, we do. But each client, like I said, has a different set of needs and yet most people need to, it's like a pyramid, right? We need to create a very strong foundation to be able to do some of these other elements, right? It's not effective just to do a little social media here and influencer marketing there. It's got to have a strategy. It's really got to have a strategy and focus.
So, in order to crush your competition, you have to have a heavy weight, a strong base.
Yes, of course.
What do you do actually to crush the competition? You've seen a lot of people come and go in the time that you've been sustaining.
Mm-hmm. How do we crush our competition? You know, I do have to say we've had a couple clients try to leave us, you know what I mean, and go to the next, you know, digital marketing agency. But you know what? They come back. They literally we've had 2, 3 clients leave, try to, you know, like think that they would be better off doing something different, working with someone else, and then they are not, you know, as happy. So we do know that we outperform our competition, and we've seen that a few times where the clients even try to leave and come back. So
I know the feeling well. When you're a dentist and people have been with you for several years, and then they try somebody else because they moved out of town. When they start coming back into town from being located in another state, then you know you're definitely crushing your competition.
mm-hmm.
So congratulations on longevity and excellence. I have a question about your platforms that you like. The 3 take 3 platforms and tell us what would be the ones you rely on the most to build your company.
I mean, outside, like outside platforms like LinkedIn and so forth, like that.
Yes.
Okay. So we use LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram are the top 3, I would say. We're now implementing some new strong program through Twitter. I am really finding that Twitter may have a really strong audience. And so I'm starting to implement a program on Twitter now too.
People are gaining more trust in Twitter
Mm-hmm.
for sure right now.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me, of these platforms, which one's probably your top one that you consider as far as your value?
Probably LinkedIn. I mean, I feel that I'm meeting the most businesses through LinkedIn.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Hmm.
I'll share with our audience that the Influencer podcast is basically finding its most fantastic interviews through LinkedIn.
Hmm.
Because we understand about companies more and the background on LinkedIn. It's a business to business platform, and you don't get that on Facebook and Instagram. You get products a lot, maybe, or personalities, but LinkedIn is the business connection. How do you deliver 5-star client experience, Marlene?
That's a great question. Um, you know, it starts out with really listening. I think we really are strong at listening to our clients and learning what is most ideal for them. As you know, no two businesses sort of operate the same. No two business entrepreneurs, owners operate the same. And so I think it's really important to understand who we're working with, try to work around what, serves them specifically, how they communicate best and and how to work within their needs. As you know, doctors can get super busy, right? So we have this sometimes where, we're doing everything right. And yet the client can't, do their part, right? Read their content and get back to us quickly because their schedule is too full. But I do believe that um, number one, listening, number two, really being accountable, delivering as we promise, which is something that we really stand by and we're really good at, meeting our deadlines, um, trying to fix any problems that arise right away, and just being accountable.
I know in taking on new business, working with clients myself as a marketer, but then as a dentist, hiring marketing firms to work with us, I always did the ROI based on how many new clients I got from that particular marketing source. Do you
Hmm.
track your ROI and you help
Yes,
your clients
yes,
understand how good your services are delivering?
absolutely. It's really key. All that analytic metrics is at the root of all of our work. And so that's what's really wonderful about the kind of work we're doing. We can directly see, we can retarget, we have so many systems in place to track what we're doing for our clients. And turning them hopefully into brand ambassadors, as you mentioned, and we've often found that we're well referred, if you will.
What percentage of your business is built through word of mouth referral?
I would say maybe 20%. I would say probably 20% based on.
Yeah, when a business reaches 50% referral in our business, dentistry, for instance, we felt like we were doing a very good job of in-house,
Mm,
and then we would spend our money on the other 50% to drive it up to the need. And in dentistry, just some facts and figures. One dentist needs about 35 new patients to have a thriving practice. So 35 new clients a month pretty much will ensure keeping one dentist busy at the normal
mhm,
level.
mhm.
So I guess you have metrics for different companies and how many new people they need and how many repeat businesses they need.
Absolutely, absolutely. But what we're finding is that once things are, set up correctly, it's very, very affordable and um, profitable to do the right kind of digital marketing, as you know.
I want to ask you a question that's different from these. We'll jump
Mhm.
into what makes you grateful. What do you feel grateful about today?
In terms of my business, I suppose, right? I'm
Yeah.
grateful for the longevity. I mean, we literally have clients working with me since day one, like 35, 40 years now. It's like, it's pretty incredible to have clients trusting us, working with us, consistently paying us, year after year, because we do really get them results. So,
To start every business day, what do you do to get going?
the interesting question is that I've just recently started to learn to do TM. So I'm doing meditation, and I'm actually finding that this is a really good way to start the day and end the day. And I think it helps you become more clear somehow. I feel very good about my new practice of practicing this TM.
Tell us your goal about Promotion LA, and where do you plan to take it over the next year?
Yes. Well, we're really on an growing pattern right now. We really have found this new space in laser medi spa, and as well as dentistry. Actually, we're working with a dentist who specializes in TMJ, and we have another couple of dentists, one that does periodontic. So it's kind of like we're working in the dental space as well as the medi spa space.
Yeah.
And so I plan to grow this area quite significantly and specialize in this area. I mean, we've done development for all kinds of brands, restaurants, and so forth. We have many clients in different pets is a very strong category for us too. We have several clients in that area, but I do plan to focus nicely with the medi spa and dentist categories.
How would you feel if you didn't achieve that goal? What would happen?
Well, I've often just, I often will find another goal. You know what I mean? Like nothing would sort of stop me from wanting to learn and to grow. And that's what I'm certain has kept our longevity.
Yeah, I asked that question because sometimes it's a challenge to get dentists to do anything. They're as difficult as herding cats, as you might have found out.
Yes.
How do you overcome a challenge when life throws one at you?
It just sometimes takes a day, by the next day, I'm all ready to go. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just, I figure out what's really going to be the best way to get an outcome. And trust me, it seems like more and more, there's lots of things out there that might, derail what your plan is. And you got to be willing to be flexible and adaptable and figure out your path out of whatever it might challenge you.
Yep. So if you do have a revenue generating idea like attracting more dentists to your client list, how do you convince your significant other or your partners in business to go along with your idea?
I think that we're all very good at listening to each other too, and being open to implement new ideas. And we try and listen. That's what life's all about. You got to keep getting up the next day and try new things, because that's the only way you grow. If you keep doing what you've been doing, you're going to stay exactly where you are. So
Let's drill down into a specific question here that's related to marketing, since you're an expert. Have you used the paid digital medias like Facebook, Google's, and LinkedIn ads to play a role in your growth of your company?
absolutely, this is key. It's central. We're very active with many of our clients that are in this space. But that's the thing, like I won't take on a client and do paid campaigns if they're not ready for it. And so not every business is ready for that paid campaign place. And many businesses play in that space before their time, and it may just fail. And so that's what's sad. That the saddest part about all of this is that many businesses out there have spent money over and over and over again, and with no results with other companies. And so they're very, very resistant, no doubtedly, to try again, right, with somebody else. And so it is an interesting challenge to develop, someone to thinking, changing their mindset on this will work, but you got to do it like this, and this, right? And that's a bit of the challenge.
Yeah, I totally understand what you're saying. If they dabble and they just kind of pick at it and don't really take on the whole meal, then they're probably going to fail. Here's another question based on your experience. What's the best percentage of revenue to allocate to that paid digital media for them to succeed?
Well, that's an interesting question, but then again, I can't even give you an answer because, like I'm saying, like you may say, okay, what's this percentage, right? But the percentage may not matter if you really don't. It's like you're trying to put, an engine, in the wrong car. You know what I mean? It's just not going to work if you haven't put the foundation in place first, no matter what percentage you allocate.
So you need a holistic approach to understand the
Correct.
business, and then you put in the parts that are needed. And
Correct.
using paid digital media would be just one part for a well-oiled machine.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah,
But it's not wise.
I tend to agree with you that you don't start with this, but it can be very effective for those who have a well-run business. Now, looking back at your young self, 20 something years, 30 something years ago, when you were just starting the business, what
Mhm.
advice would you give yourself as you get started in marketing?
Don't quit. Literally. You
Don't quit.
got to keep, don't quit. Literally, like something I teach people today called the rule of 72, the rule of compound interest. Life and being in business compounds with time, and you get stronger and you grow. And I believe that, being an entrepreneur is really a great way to live and to be and to have, income based on your own efforts, as opposed to, working for someone else and having a job. So,
Yeah, I kind of agree with you that being a mentor to other people can be rewarding and enriching. And once you've been successful, it's easy to find people who would like to listen. Do you have a living mentor yourself, and what's their impact on you?
I have to say my dad was my true living mentor. I mean, he's now not living. He lived to 95, but honestly, his mind was sharp to the end. And he mentored me obviously throughout my whole life, but in business in the first 10 years, he truly was that inspiration. On his 90th birthday, I wrote him a speech and I was able to really highlight all that he really did for me. I had drive, no question about it, but I truly know that it was his mentorship. And I recommend anyone out there to get a mentor. Like, honestly, I do believe that that is the secret sauce to what my success was in the beginning. Mhm.
Why is being a person of impact important to you, Marlene?
I'm going to just go right back to my dad again. I mean, I believe in my heart how much, I know how much he impacted me. And if I can help do that for someone else, that is truly would be very meaningful for me.
So you look at your life overall, you kind of get to the end of it, and you look back and go, this is what I want to be remembered for. What would you say to the audience?
Wow, I really wasn't ready for that question, but okay, let's see. I guess someone with integrity who, always tried to do better for some, make someone's life better somehow. So, good friend. Yeah.
How can we support you and your company, Promotion LA? How can we reach you? What are your websites and connection points?
Yeah, so it's promotionla.com, and our phone number I can give you too is can I share that as
Yes,
well? Okay,
you're
so it's
welcome.
310-405-7598. And we have clients all over the country. We're really working in all over the country, and we are very passionate about what we do, and we love to have a more in-depth conversation, and we can do a real um, evaluation of what we see online digitally, and tell you where you're at, and hopefully see if there's a connection to working together.
Good. Well,
And a
I
good
know
fit.
our audience loves to connect with people that are experienced, that have longevity and integrity, all the things that you exhibited today. So thank you for that. And I would like to give you a chance to express how you have felt about your experience on our show today.
Well, it's really been lovely. I really have enjoyed getting to know you here and answering the questions. And I hope to engage with your audience again sometime.
Thank you so much for that. I'd like to give you the final words, and then I'll come back on later, but I want you to be able to just talk to our audience personally and just give them some wisdom, give them some insights, or maybe some inspiration.
Oh, wow. Just, I really do. Not sure what to say. Um, this has been a really lovely experience, and I hope to meet many of your audience. And thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much, Marlene. You have been extremely interesting as a interviewee, just because I find marketing one of my special interests, having studied it, written books on it, and mentored dentists on marketing for over 30 years. I'm always interested in other marketers' perspectives. And with 40 years experience, I know you know your business very well. So thank you for being on the Influencers podcast. You've certainly influenced a lot of people, 500,000, 1,000,000, who knows how many over the years. And so I appreciate you being on our podcast today. So thanks very much.
Thank you, Dr. Bill. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So I'm going to end the broadcast, and Marlene, I'll come back and say hello to you in just a minute. So let me turn the broadcast off. You guys stay tuned for the next session of Influencers Podcast. We'll bring another interesting guest, just like Marlene, on. Before you know it, it'll be time for another session of the Influencers Podcast, live from Atlanta, Georgia.